On this channel, I talk a lot about the market, the average sale prices, and the trends that we're seeing. But today, I'm going to break that down a little bit further, and I'm going to talk about what the true cost is of buying a home in Halifax. And this is going to be based around the average sale price, which right now is hovering right around $560,000. The cost of buying a home, other than what you're paying for the down payment and the deed transfer tax, doesn't change tremendously from price point to price point. So at the end of this video, I'm also going to break down a few different price points for you in case you're looking to buy a little bit lower or a little bit above what the average purchase price is. And this is basically the way I would break this down for a buyer in an initial buyer consult when we talk about the process of buying a home and the overall costs involved. Throughout this video, I'm going to be talking about various items that I've already covered in other videos in a lot more detail. So if you're looking for specifics about some of these items, I'll put the cards up in the video so that you can link over to those videos directly from this one. And I'll also link these videos in the description below if you're looking to get more information on these topics. Now, just before I get into it, if you're new here, my name is Andrew Stephens, and I've been a Halifax realtor for almost 9 years now. And if you're looking to be educated on the Halifax real estate market, then this is the channel for you. So hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And if you're looking for more information about the Halifax real estate market, or if you're thinking about making a move in Halifax, you can reach out to me anytime at the Calendar link below in my description at a time when it's convenient for you. Okay, so getting right into the numbers, what's it cost to buy an average home in Halifax? So like I said, the average sale price right now is hovering right around $560,000. So from a down payment perspective, you're going to need a minimum of 5% down on the first $500,000 of the purchase price, and anything between $500,000 and $1 million, you're going to need 10% down for that section. So in other words, at $560,000, you're looking at $25,000 for the first $500,000 of the purchase price, and then for the last $60,000, you're looking at $6,000, which is 10% of that $60,000. So in total, for a purchase of this magnitude, you're looking at $31,000 for your minimum down payment. And again, if you're looking at other purchase prices, you're looking at 5% from $0 to $500,000. You're looking at 10% on anything from the $500,000 mark to $1 million mark, and then you're looking at 20% down payment minimum for everything over that $1 million price point. Next up is the deposit. So once you have an accepted offer in place, you're going to have to put a deposit down on the property. For a property of this price point, you're probably looking at about $10,000. Now, this is not in addition to the down payment. This actually goes towards your down payment at the time of closing. Now, again, $10,000 for a price point of $560,000 is a pretty standard deposit, but that's not to say you can't get away with a little bit less. Maybe you could do $5,000 or $7,500, but again, $10,000 would be fairly standard for a transaction of this size, and this deposit is held in trust at the listing brokerage or sometimes at the seller's lawyer's office. Next up, we have property inspections. Now, I made a very detailed video about home inspections and why you should do them and what inspections you should do and how much they cost approximately in another video, so I'll link that down below here. So if you want to check that out, you can go ahead. But in general, for a home inspection, you're looking at about $500. For a radon gas test, if you choose to complete one, you're looking at about $250. For a sewer line scope for a city sewer property, you're looking at about $250. And if it's on septic, you're looking at about $350 to $400. If a property is on city water, you don't need to do any testing, but if it's on a well, you're going to want to complete a water sample test for sure. And if it's a drilled well, you'll want to complete a flow test as well. So if it's a drilled well and you're doing a flow test and a water sample, you're probably hovering right around $500 for this inspection. So in general, when it's all said and done, if you're buying a home on city services, you're looking at somewhere between $500 and $1,000 for your home inspections. And if you're buying a home on well and septic, you're looking probably somewhere around $1,200 to $1,800. Again, it's going to vary depending on what inspector you use and what inspections you're performing. Next up is deed transfer tax. So when you're buying a home, you're looking at a deed transfer tax of 1.5% of the purchase price, and this is paid at the time of closing. So on a $560,000 purchase, this would be $8,400. It's important to note that if you're coming from out of province, we do have some other rules surrounding deed transfer taxes, and if you're not planning to occupy the property personally, or if it's a 50-50 split or something like that on the title with the people that'll be occupying it versus the people that are buying it, you should really chat with your lawyer or your realtor before pulling the trigger on a property, as you may be subject to more deed transfer tax than this 1.5%. Next up, legal fees and closing adjustments. So you'll need a lawyer to close the transaction for you, and they'll also do all the closing adjustments on your behalf. So everything on closing is adjusted right down to the day. So for example, if you're buying a home that's on oil, the seller will fill the oil tank up before closing, and then you'll pay them back for that full tank of oil at the time of closing. So there are a lot of variables in here, such as oil, propane, maybe there's some rents or leases on the property as well. Maybe the property taxes have been paid well in advance. So for example, if you're closing on a home in July and the seller's already paid the property taxes up to the end of September, then you would be paying the seller back on closing for the taxes paid per day from July all the way to September. So there are some variables of what these numbers are going to look like, but as a general statement, I think you can budget for about $2,500 or $2,000 on closing for these legal fees and adjustments, and you should be safe with that. So again, this is just an estimate, but in general, based on the current average sale price in Halifax, to buy a home at $560,000, you're looking at about $43,000 that you're going to need as your closing cost. And again, I said I would show you some other sale prices as well, so here it is. At $400,000, you're looking at about $30,000 of closing costs. At $700,000, you're looking at about $59,000 worth of closing costs. At $850,000, you're looking at about $76,000 worth of closing costs. At $1 million purchase, you're looking at about $94,000 worth of closing costs. And at a $1.25 million purchase price, you're looking at about $147,000 worth of closing costs. Now again, these are just estimates to give you an idea of what you're looking at, but they will vary a little bit depending on the situation. And if you're still here watching, all I ask is that if you got any value out of this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future content. And that'll help push this out to more people like you that might be interested in being educated on the Halifax real estate market. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support and have a great day.